Hello, and welcome to 1000 PS, the world of motorcycles. We were in sunny South Africa on the road and have tested for you the newly introduced Norden Expedition. All the information about what it can do better than the original, how it stands out from the group sister KTM, and why it is actually a bargain. Here in the report. We were able to put it through its paces on and off-road during our 2-day tour of the Rainbow Nation. Even the base model of the Husqvarna Norden has a lot to offer. The 901 Norden was a success for Husqvarna in Europe right from the start. The model is based on the proven Matikofen kit around the 890 family, but manages to be anything but a copy in blue thanks to a very independent look and also the orientation in terms of riding performance. It now has many fans and can undoubtedly be called a real enrichment on the market. In order to find weaknesses and faults on the 901 North, one has to make a real effort during test rides. The concept always seems well thought out and works first class. The appealing looks did the rest to make a large number of customers happy in 2022. But anyone who knows the demands in Matikofen knows that traditionally they always try to put one thing on top. The new 901 Norden Expedition for 2023 was born from this idea. The ingredients in the developer's recipe book were more touring suitability, improved off-road qualities, more equipment and even more comfort in the saddle. Comfort on the Husqvarna 901 Norden Expedition. When you sit on the new Norden Expedition, you immediately notice the difference to the KTM philosophy. Whereas you sit on top of the bike, you sit a little more comfortably in the Norden. This is due on the one hand to the higher tank, and on the other hand to the somewhat more voluminously designed front and side fairings. The larger windshield on the new Expedition further reinforces this impression. Husqvarna 901 Norden Expedition engine and frame remain unchanged. The seat height rises, because of the new chassis, to an airy 874 mm. The center of gravity favorable tank form, which goes far downward, one already knows. Unlike KTM, the wider and more comfortable seat arrangement on the Husqvarna ensures a not quite so slim center. That is, the comfort increases, but also the crotch is larger and thus have its smaller people under 1.75 meters height probably somewhat difficult with the new Expedition. Taller people, on the other hand, can still enjoy the additional option of being able to raise the standard heated driver's seat by another 2 cm to 894 mm, without the need for any tools. The proven basis around the 889 cubic parallel twin, and the familiar steel trellis frame also remains in the Expedition. The engine is mature and fascinates again and again with its powerful character, clean response and barely perceptible vibrations. In various test and endurance test scenarios over the past year, the drive made many friends in the 1000 PS editorial team. Both off-road and on the road, the lively 105 horsepower served, paired with powerful 100 Nm of torque always provided bliss under the helmet. The desire for more did not arise during our test in South Africa. Together with the manageable weight of 230 kilograms ready to drive, and the low center of gravity, the Expedition also represents a really potent package. The excellently working driving assistance systems, where the ABS mode is now coupled to the driving modes in the 2023 model year, completes the excellent overall impression. The braking performance also remains the same. The well-dosed system from Husqvarna continues to provide reliable deceleration. Would the Norden Premium model have deserved a more potent Brembo system? In very sporty road use, the thought comes up from time to time. However, we are talking about criticism at a high level here. After all, the Expedition was also strongly developed in the direction of off-road performance, and the stoppers really fit perfectly for this. The new suspension of the Husqvarna 901 Norden Expedition convinces. In terms of suspension, the Expedition now relies on high-quality XPLOR components from WP. These are not only somewhat more massively dimensioned, the fork now has a stanchion diameter of a full 48 mm, but also fully adjustable, the shock even separately in high and low speed compression damping. In practice, this hardware actually creates huge reserves for tough off-road use. During the 2 days we were on the road on a wide variety of terrain. In particularly crunchy sections, where a washed-out rut was overlooked, or where we entered blocked sections too quickly, the new suspension is a real help. It calmly absorbs even hard impacts and thus creates safety and confidence. Over quick hits at high speed, the response is still not top-notch, which occasionally results in some bony shaking in the handlebars, but a noticeable step forward compared to the base. Not only off-road, but also on the road you notice the fundamentally agile geometry, which makes it agile and playfully moves into the radius. At the same time, it always keeps precisely and cleanly to the targeted line. The new chassis is also fun to use. In the basic setup, it remains true to its familiar, comfortable character. With the addition of 2 cm of suspension travel, there is fortunately never an unpleasantly swaying feeling in sporty road use. It can still be ridden hard in a sporty manner without having to make any compromises. If desired, even more damping can be applied in no time at all via the adjusters on the fork and shock absorber, which provides further precision for road use. Nevertheless, it should be noted that the greater progress in the Expedition has certainly taken place in the reserve for demanding off-road sections. What many vehicles have on the list of extras that require an extra charge, the new Expedition brings as standard. Automatic gear shift. A matter of honor. It's not new, but it's still absolutely great, and the Expedition now comes with it as standard. The heated grips, along with the heated driver's seat, provided comforting warmth during a rainy, chilly morning on our tour of South Africa. An ideal feature for hardy all-season riders or even comfort-conscious adventurers. The new touring windshield provides better wind and weather protection. Many riders on our tour were thrilled with it, whereby it must be noted that this from a height of 1.90 meters upwards, noticeable turbulence in the helmet area creates, on an adjustability must still be waived. The additional main stand facilitates maintenance work and the loading of the standard soft luggage solution. The new engine guard made of robust 4 mm aluminum provides optimum protection for the tank, frame and drive unit. On sandy terrain and steep, stony ground, even small overturns could not harm the Norden. The standard Explorer mode also proved its worth in precisely these conditions. In this mode, the control intensity of the traction control can be adjusted from level 1 to 9 quite simply via the control unit at the left-hand end of the handlebar. A further, longer press on the lower arrow button sets it to 0 if required and gives the driver full freedom over what happens at the rear wheel. With the wheelie control deactivated, the Norden Expedition can also be taken to the rear wheel with confidence and control, thanks to ample pressure in the lower gears. All this can be adjusted at any time, without having to close the throttle or even stop. A really great thing on changing surfaces and in unpaved terrain. Connectivity is also standard on the Expedition. Once the Husqvarna app has been installed on the smartphone, and the device has been connected to the motorcycle via Bluetooth, the rider can not only use turn-by-turn navigation and call answering, but also make calls and view real-time traffic information. Music selection and volume can also be controlled while riding using the buttons on the handlebars. The first models of the new Expedition will be available from Husqvarna dealers as early as mid-March 2023. The prices look as follows. Germany, €16,249. Austria, €17,999. Conclusion: even the base model of the Husqvarna Norden has a lot to offer, but the new Expedition manages to go one better with its improved chassis and additional features. It is as versatile as a Swiss Army knife. There's hardly a task it doesn't seem up to. Precise and sporty on the road, and equally robust and confidence-building off-road. A real do-it-all machine. Considering the extensive additional equipment, not least the price also seems in order compared to the base North. With a look at the even sportier-oriented sister company KTM 890 Adventure R, it should be noted that Husqvarna also remains somewhat more true to the idea of comfort with the Expedition.